Hello, everybody. It's Shawana Intarazim from yoursacredtransformation.com, and we are here for day 366 days. Um, sorry, we're here for day 306 out of 366 days to transform fear back into love. I cannot believe we are on day 306. It's like it's just been an amazing journey, and I'll be sharing more about that soon. But today's topic is called How You Give Means Everything. How You Give Means Everything. Um, I don't mind sharing with you, and I'm sure you're having this experience as well, that I have been bombarded for campaign contributions, this presidential campaign. And I'm also aware of the holiday season coming around, and usually a lot of times organizations will send out their postcards and flyers for requests for donations, which is such a beautiful thing. I love being able to contribute. Sometimes I get afraid to give, especially to overgive. And lately, I've been really doing an inquiry and curious as to what is really happening. So, if you are a generous person who likes to give and share, or someone who likes to be abundant and share what you have, and sometimes wonder if this gets you into a pickle, or if you're wanting to become more conscientious in this area, this video blog is definitely for you today. I would just to share and be transparent. I love to give. I love to share what I have with those that are in my circles. Um, and the truth underneath that is really for most of my life, I had been quite undiscerning around how to do that in a really good way. I think it started when I was in the seventh grade, maybe even earlier, where a particular gal asked me at the beginning of the year for money to buy an icy treat. And I just remember, as I was doing this inquiry process and curiosity of what's happening here, I remember just literally opening up my little, Velcro teeny bopper wallet and just literally handing her 50 cents and not even giving it a second thought. And I'm sure that I was initiated into this process of looking at it during that year, because it took me the whole year to get the money back. On the last day of school, I became quite fierce and I said, "You still owe me the treat money." And she reluctantly, but knowing that she had to be honorable because this was the last day of school and she hadn't paid me the whole year, give me the money. So really that journey began then, it started then, and it took me a long time to discern how to really give and how to give from a really good place. Seriously, I want to pass this on to you in case it's helpful, and share with you how I got through my fear of giving or overgiving or giving too much money, time, or energy. So that you can release the fear. Okay, so I'm broken it down into a few steps. So hopefully these will be helpful and supportive. The first step, which I think is really probably the most important, is I had to get really clear on my motivation for giving. It wasn't always clean. I think I shared before I had to deal with codependency issues, as most people I know do. And for a long time, the essential seed in codependency is that you're really giving to get. And usually to get for some small part of yourself. You're usually really giving to get with codependency, usually for some really small part. So that was a huge piece of work to clean up. So if you are giving to get anything, and a lot of us think that we're beyond that, so it takes a really humble mind and a really chiseled self-honesty to really say, what am I hoping to get from this, if anything? And being willing to hear and receive the answers is so important, so that you can restore your giving to a place where it's truly giving, not giving to get or having any other kind of hidden motivation there, which I have found through my own experience usually messes up the whole process anyway. So hopefully this is helpful for you and you don't have to go through all of that like I did. The second step, which I had to become really clear about, was to get really clear on my limits. I did not know what my limits were. I didn't even know what I have limits on, you know, for example, people returning money to me that I had lent them, clearly, even at the seventh grade. So I had to get very clear, and I encourage you to do so as well. Your limits with your time, your limits with energy, your limits with money, whatever form the giving takes, if you're not clear with your limits, it's going to backfire on you, because at some point, the part that is not getting what it needs inside of you is going to create its own little swirl to get your attention, and usually that is filled with dynamics and challenges with other people or yourself. So be really clear on what your limits are. Your limits on time, energy, money, safety, all of that is really valid and worthwhile. The third step was really, once I'd healed the codependency and felt pure hearted in my motivation, I had to really look at how I was giving. How did I set it up? Um, how did I communicate? Did I honor my limits? Or did I just go past them, which I certainly did at moments? So the third step is really to look at, how are you giving? How are you giving? How do you give of your time, your energy, your money? What attitude do you have with it? How do you even feel in your body when you're giving? Sometimes that can be a real signal to us that something is amiss or off. So for you today, for your benefit, hopefully I found these really helpful over the years. I asked myself those questions, especially if I am going to be sharing or giving in larger amounts. And what I noticed is that over time, asking those questions, my fears actually just started to dissolve. I don't have any fear anymore about giving or over giving or sharing too much, because the discernment piece and the clearing up the codependency piece has been extraordinarily useful, and I really believe that it would be useful as for you as well. So I'm curious, how do you deal with the fear of giving too much or over giving? How do you check yourself? I'm curious, and I think the readers would be too, to share with us, how do you do this? 'Cause I think somebody in this post will benefit from that. And I'm appreciating, your comments and the suggestions below. And I look forward to connecting with you again. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for the beautiful messages I received this week from a few of you thanking me for this challenge. And we'll be back tomorrow with day 307. Have a great day.